Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a video full of vegan lunches. You guys voted for a week of vegan lunches on my Instagram poll, so that is what I'm bringing to you today. Monday through Friday, a different lunch every single day, and they all include lots of easy to find ingredients, ones that you might already have on hand in your pantry. They're also relatively quick to make and easy for meal prep and to bring to school or to work, or they're just kind of quick on hand to make if you're working or studying from home. So let's make some lunches. So first things first, for this bowl, I am chopping the potatoes just into a wedge formation. You can cut them however you like. I just love a good wedge, and I'm adding them to a medium-sized mixing bowl. The oven's preheated to about 200 Celsius, approximately 400 Fahrenheit. And I'm just going to toss them with a bit of extra virgin olive oil, some salt, some pepper, and this is some smoky paprika. I added a little bit too much, but that's okay. Never enough smoky paprika, am I right? Toss, 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 toss. And then I just added them to a lined baking sheet and put them in the oven for about half an hour or so until they're nice and crispy on the outside. I'm also just smothering some garlic cloves in a bit of extra virgin olive oil to roast along with the potatoes that I will use later on in the hummus. While the potatoes are baking, I'm just preparing a carrot and cucumber, just chopping them into stick formations for optimum dipping into our delicious hummus that we're going to make. You can use less cucumber and carrot or more, just depending on how hungry you are. But I was feeling pretty hungry that day. And of course, snacking while cooking is essential. I'm using these Syndian Foods super green falafels. I found them just in the freezer section of my local Woolworths, but you can use any falafel that you prefer. To make the hummus, I've got drained and rinsed chickpeas, along with a lot of lemon zest and a lot of lemon juice. I love a lemony hummus. I have some roasted garlic here that I'm just peeling and throwing in, along with some salt, some pepper, and my favorite seasoning, za'atar. It's so delicious, especially in hummus. I've got some organic tahini for that smooth, creamy texture, a bit of extra virgin olive oil, and also just a little bit of water to thin it out a little so it's not too chunky. Give that a good run in your food processor until you have reached your desired hummus consistency. And then I'm just spooning it into this little dish and gonna top it with some extra za'atar because I am obsessed. To plate, just adding the cucumber and the carrot to the plate, and then I will head over to the oven and just grab the potato wedges as well as the falafels that I had thrown in just for the last 10 minutes or so while the potatoes were baking. And that is a delicious falafel and hummus snack plate. Gee, that looks really good. And I just enjoyed it in the sunshine with my old pal, Charlie. Next up is a delicious chickpea tuna recipe. I'm just starting out by first finely dicing some red onion. It's completely optional, of course, if you are low FODMAP, but I love to have just a little bit in there for some raw freshness and that color. Yum. Dice, 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 dice. And is it really cutting onions if you don't bawl your eyes out? Next, I am dicing up a red capsicum, just using about half of a capsicum for this recipe. And then slicing up a spring onion or scallion just for that beautiful green. Going to use some sushi nori here. It just gives that kind of fishy, oceany kind of flavor to the chickpea tuna, and I'm just simply using the scissors to shred it up. Add the chickpeas to a bowl, and using a potato masher or a fork, just give them a really good mash. And then add your raw veggies and your sushi nori into the bowl with your chickpeas, bit of salt, bit of pep, bit of lemon juice. We had a really abundant lemon tree this winter, so I'm super grateful for the endless supply of lemon juice. Using my favorite vegan mayo for this recipe. And also my favorite vegan sour cream, which is optional if you can't find a vegan sour cream. It just gives a little bit of an extra delicious tanginess, but yeah, completely optional. And that is the completed salad. So just on some toasted seeded sourdough, I'm adding some sliced avocado, and then just simply spooning the chickpea tuna on top of the toast. Scissoring off some delicious fresh chives, a little bit of extra black pepper, and that is lunch. Of course, when you eat it, please expect to get mayo all over your nose. On Wednesday, I made this really yummy noodle salad, complete with a creamy carrot, ginger, miso, sesame dressing. This is one of my favorite sauces. I don't make it nearly enough, but this video is reminding me that I absolutely need to make it more often. So I'm just adding some soaked cashews and boiled carrots along with some ginger, miso, sesame oil, water, salt, and pepper to a blender. Just blending that up on high until it's smooth and creamy. It should be thick, but you can pour it out pretty easily. And then to a bowl with some cooked udon noodles, spinach, I'm adding cucumber, some thawed edamame, as well as some diced avocado. And then I have some tamari tempeh that I baked in the oven. I'm adding that to the salad, along with a healthy drizzle of that delicious carrot cashew sauce. Give it a nice big stir in your mixing bowl until everything is nicely covered in that sauce. This was honestly a huge serving, and this is probably more like two. I ate about half of it for lunch, and then I ended up having the second half for dinner. I topped it with some extra sauce and some shredded fresh mint from our garden, along with some white and black sesame seeds for some garnish and a little bit of crunch. And that was lunch, and honestly, this was so delicious, and I'm going to make it way more often. On Thursday, I made this really yummy TTLA or blat using tempeh as the bacon replacement. I had just marinated it in tamari, maple syrup, and a bit of liquid smoke, and as I was waiting for it to sizzle on the stove, I was just having a bit of a boogie. So I just cooked it for a couple of minutes on both sides until it was nice and charred, got that nice smoky flavor, and just on some toasted seeded sourdough, I'm adding my favorite vegan mayo, spreading it just on the top piece, and then on the bottom piece, I'm adding some avocado that I had simply just mashed with a fork, some sliced tomatoes, and then adding the cooked tempeh on top of that. And then some shredded lettuce that I already had in the fridge. You could just use a whole lettuce leaf if that's what you have as well. Close the sandwich, and it wouldn't be an Eliza sandwich if it was just piled super high. Delish. On Friday, I was craving a delicious Nourish bowl, so I made some sweet potato fries just with a simple seasoning because I think they're just so yummy on their own. And then I baked them in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until they were nice and soft and delicious. And I used these brown rice burgers that I found in the freezer section of Woolies. We have some rainbow silver beet that we've been growing. It's starting to look a little bit rough along with our broccoli. We think maybe some bugs have started to get to it a little bit. So I wanted to use up as much of the silver beet as I could in this dish. So I washed it up and added it with some spinach that I had in the fridge, and I just lightly sauteed that on the pan just in a bit of water just until it was slightly wilted. I wanted it to still have a bit of shape and not be completely mush, so I just cooked that down and then added that to a bowl as a base. Along with this bowl, I added some sliced cherry tomatoes that just look so beautiful at the store, and finally I could find ones that were not in a plastic box. I had half a cucumber laying around in the fridge, so I decided to just slice that up as well because I always love a good cucumber crunch in a bowl. And then I had half an avocado that I needed to use, so I just diced that up as well. And then to the bowl, I added the cooked sweet potato fries. Yum. As well as the brown rice burger, which I just cooked in the air fryer until it was nice and crispy. The cucumber, the tomatoes, the avocado. And then I had some of the leftover carrot ginger miso sauce that I just drizzled on top. Topped with some pumpkin seeds for a little bit of extra crunch, and some sliced chives that I needed to use up as well. I just love chives, I don't know about you. And some hemp seeds because I pretty much had hemp seeds to every single salad. And that was lunch on Friday. A very delicious bowl. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Catch you next time.